Hello, my name is Carly Johansson, and I am a medical student at the Medical College of Wisconsin, Central Wisconsin campus. Today I will be talking to you about CBD oil products and their uses. Because this presentation is part of a larger project with the Medical College of Wisconsin, I will also ask you to finish a survey at the end of this presentation. This survey is completely anonymous and cannot be connected back to you. However, we will be asking several demographic questions, including age, gender, and educational background. We are hoping to connect that towards your attitude and general knowledge about CBD products and their uses. Lastly, I will be asking about your attitudes towards aging and the aging process with the intention of potentially connecting that back to the CBD oil attitudes and knowledge. Before going on in this presentation, I would like to state a disclaimer. I am not intending to sell CBD oil products to you, nor am I able to gain any kind of monetary reward for this presentation. This is simply an informational presentation and not meant to sell you any kind of product. So first off, what is CBD or CBD oil? Well, CBD stands for cannabidiol, which is a chemical in the cannabis sativa plant, otherwise known as the marijuana plant. It is added to many products, including oils, lotions, teas, beers, etc. And it can be used in many different ways. It can be used orally by swallowing an oil or consuming a food product that CBD has been added to. It can also be used by placing the oil underneath the tongue. Additionally, you can inhale it via vaping, although vaping in and of itself is very dangerous and can cause lung damage, so this method of use is not recommended. And neither is vaping. Lastly, it can also be used topically through creams and lotions. In this presentation, we are focusing more on CBD oils and lotions. The process of CBD oil production or CBD production is a multi-step process and can be very complicated. So a more simplified version of the production process is as follows. A marijuana or hemp plant needs to be grown and cultivated, and this plant needs to have high amounts of CBD and low amounts of THC. Now, THC is the chemical in marijuana plants that causes the psychoactive and or hallucinogenic effects of marijuana, and what makes the marijuana illegal in most states. Next, the CBD is extracted out of the plants using a series of solvents. Then the CBD is purified from those solvents. In other words, only the CBD should be left over and the other chemicals should be gone. You then add the CBD products to other items like oil, lotion, pills, etc. Now, it is important to note that in this process, it is not technically possible to get rid of all of the THC within the purified CBD. So for most CBD products, there is a legal threshold of how much THC can be used. And this threshold basically means that the THC within, or the amount of THC within the CBD, cannot produce a psychoactive effect like a marijuana plant could. Now, this threshold is about 0.3%, which is very low. And CBD products that are found to have more than that could be discontinued or not made anymore. Why is CBD so popular? Well, in the previous years, Google searches have been increasing year by year, and this has been experienced in all states. Now, the most specific reason that could be found is that CBD oil has no psychoactive effects of THC, but can still have the health benefits seen with THC, making it legal in most states. But how is it being advertised? There are many reasons or many ways that CBD is being advertised to the general public. So it can be advertised as a sleep aid, pain relief, anxiety relief, cancer symptom relief, mostly geared towards chemotherapy side effect relief, and many other uses. And it is being advertised in many different places, including CBD shops, gas stations, and stores. Even in our own community, we have several CBD shops, and most gas stations can actually sell it. But what does the FDA say about it? The FDA, or the Food and Drug Administration, is responsible for the safety, efficacy, and security of medications for both humans and animals. Interestingly enough, CBD products are also advertised for animals, including dogs and cats specifically. So the FDA will only approve of medications that are safe and effective for human or animal use. So that means the benefits that you get from the medication should definitely outweigh the potential side effects that the medication can cause. The medications that are approved are under the oversight of the FDA and must meet certain requirements to be sold. And it's important to note that these medications often undergo numerous trials and years of modification to ensure the safety before they go out onto the market. Currently, the FDA has approved only one CBD-based medication, and that is called Epidiolex. Now, this is only approved for the use of treatment of rare seizure disorders in children 18 and younger. Now, this is an oral medication, so it is extremely pure CBD with no THC within the product. That means that its production and distribution is highly regimented by the FDA. So there are no FDA-approved treatments for adults. So store-bought CBD products are not FDA approved. They're actually termed as supplements, which don't have to go through FDA approval. So what does that actually mean for the consumer, for you and me? Sellers of CBD products can claim anything about the CBD without scientific proof. In fact, product labels have also been shown to be inaccurate. Several studies have taken CBD oil products, looked at their labels, and tested what is actually in the product, including the CBD amount and the THC amount. And what they found was that what was actually in the product didn't quite match with what was on the actual label. So it is possible that what people are consuming isn't technically what the product says they are, due to the fact that the production process and the distribution process is not highly regulated by any governing body. But what do we know about CBD oils and their uses. Are they effective? What's the deal? So as I said before, there are many ways that it's being advertised, and we're going to take a look at each one of the main 4 ways that it's being advertised. So CBD oil and sleep. Several scientific studies have shown that CBD can help improve quality of sleep if taken in a capsule form, although although it is unclear how CBD oil would affect sleep or if it could affect sleep. Now, these are preliminary studies, and there's not enough to actually definitively prove that it aids in sleep. Other ways that you can actually improve your sleep that have been recommended by science and by physicians is to exercise daily, avoid blue light before bed, and blue light comes from televisions, cell phones, computers, and other electronic devices. And stick to a specific sleep schedule, which means going to bed at the same time every night and waking up at the same time every morning. And to reduce daytime naps. This will allow you to get asleep faster and stay asleep longer. And to make sure that your sleeping space is as comfortable as possible. Next up is CBD oil and pain relief. There are very promising studies showing that topical administration, like in a lotion or a cream, of CBD oil does help with chronic pain. And I have heard anecdotal stories from many different patients that putting a CBD cream on an inflamed joint or a chronically painful joint does help with their pain. However, there are no current drug trials in motion to gain FDA approval. The pain relief theory is supported, but more research needs to be done to ensure that this CBD oil product is helping and it's not just a placebo effect. Other pain relief avenues. Again, regular exercise. It makes you much healthier in any regard. Physical therapy or occupational therapy, oftentimes they can teach you good ways to stretch or exercise your body to make your pain decrease. Yoga, therapeutic massage, and speaking with your physician. They may have much more ideas about pain relief avenues. And CBD and anxiety relief also have a link. Like some other claims, there are some studies that support the use of CBD oil for lessening anxiety. Each study shows a different method of using the CBD, whether it's oil, a capsule, or even a lotion. So more studies need to be done to ensure the safety and the proper method and the proper use of CBD and how it's getting to the body. There are many other ways to relieve anxiety. Again, regular exercise is very important to keeping both your body and mind healthy. Meditation has shown to work as well. Eating a balanced diet, which includes decreasing the amount of caffeine. Some medications can also help, and asking your physician about these may be a good idea. It is also important to note that using a counseling service or a therapy service might also help with relieving anxiety if you're not interested in taking a medication or something like that. So CBD oil and chemotherapy have also been linked together. So preliminary studies that do show CBD in various forms that can decrease some symptoms of chemotherapy, like nausea, pain, and anxiety. And this is very similar to effect that smoking or eating or consuming THC has been shown to do the same things. Again, more research should be done because not enough is known about the CBD effects, especially with the chemotherapy drugs. So some common threads that I have been speaking about there is support for many of the health benefits of CBD that CBD is advertised for. However, these are preliminary studies. Dosages and how CBD is getting into the system aren't consistent within each study. The quality of CBD in each product also differs, so it may be difficult to replicate effects throughout all the different products. But are there side effects? There can be side effects. Some of the studies have shown that participants have experienced fatigue, GI issues with diarrhea being one of the more common effects, a decreased appetite, and a slightly increased liver enzyme, which means that your liver may not be working as properly as it should. Can they interfere with other medications? Yes, they can. Now, these 4 medications are just some examples. So brivaracetam is an anticonvulsant, and CBD has shown to increase their levels in the blood. The same thing goes with this cilostatazole, which is a vasodilator and an antiplatelet or a blood thinner. And the same goes for citalopram, which is an SSRI, which can treat depression and anxiety. It actually decreases the levels in the bloods of clopidogrel, which is a blood thinner. So they do have effects with some medications, not all, but some. So putting it all together, generally side effects aren't severe. There could be some benefits to using CBD oil. The effects are variable person to person. So if you do decide to take CBD oil or other products, you should speak with your physician. They may have advice or may want to monitor specific test results and determine whether or not the CBD could interfere with any of the medications that you're already taking. But which CBD oil brand is the best? So I would recommend doing your research before buying a CBD product, including cost, CBD content, and looking at customer reviews. A resource that might be helpful is medlineplus.gov, which is a government-based website that can have information on some of these products. If you have any questions, you can contact me, which my contact information will be given to you. And this is the survey link. The top is a link that you can click on your computer or device, and below is a QR code that you can use with your phone to take the survey. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed.